Now, now I have the pleasure to introduce my dear colleague, Alex, who's going to be talking to you all today. Thank you.
To say thank you to my previous boss, Luis, the two men that hired me over there. I remember our first conversation many years ago. So hi, I'm Alex Firmani. I'm the chief architect of Pocket Network. We have two engineering teams at Pocket, which may be surprising that we have two engineering leaders, and that's Luis, and this is my team. So I'm going to talk to you today about the state of Pocket engineering, and basically mostly about the state of the growth engineering team that handles the products that make the blockchain accessible. So this talk is actually given by Art Sabanesev. He's my VP of engineering. He wrote this talk. He was scheduled to give this talk. Couldn't be here due to personal reasons, so it's also by me now. This used to be just my team. We started very small. I'm so thankful to have Art on board now, as he has made everything that I do so much easier and so much smoother, made our hiring process so much better. So thank you, Art. I know you're out there watching. I hope I do justice to your talk. So scaling the growth engineering team from 3 to nearly 30, we have scaled fast. So when we first formed this team, it was a split. Pocket engineering used to be one organization, one team. I was working with Luis, working with Pavel and the original engineers. When I first joined this team, actually, I was the only native English speaker on Pocket engineering. I would join calls and they would be yammering on in Dominican Spanish, not even like normal Spanish that I sort of understand. And they would say, oh, Alex joined, we got to switch to English. And everybody would slow down about 20% in how they talk. And I actually felt really, really bad, because like, these guys are processing really fast in their head, and now they have to slow down and translate for me. So thankful to have an English-speaking engineering team now. We've split the engineering into two sides. Protocol, that deals with the blockchain. They have a very different release cycle. Their releases are in terms of months. They have a very different QA cycle. They can't move fast and break things like we can dealing with product. So we've split. The growth engineering team obviously handles two different sides of the user experience that represents the products and the infrastructure that runs everything that we do with the portal API. So here's a brief overview of the headcount. Anyone who's been in tech for a while or in engineering can see how the shift has happened from the move fast and break things part to now we have some process, where our headcount has really increased. Quality assurance, Emmanuel, product managers, delivery managers. We're so thankful to have them now because we now have some process. Before, it was a lot of engineers coordinating on Discord. Things would get lost, things wouldn't get managed well, and we obviously suffered from it. So we're so thankful to have some process, even if it slows us down a bit. You know, that's necessary when you have people that depend on your applications and depend on the things that you're running for them to be up and resilient. So I'm not going to go over who all we hired, but we're very thankful to have all of these groups under us. We have taken the product team off from marketing, so engineering now encompasses the full product lifecycle from design all the way to launching it. And like I said before, this has led to the establishment of our best practices, process management, product management, and of course developing an actual roadmap. That roadmap literally used to just be in my head, be like, hey, Ronnie, we need to do this. Hey, Enrique, we got to handle this now. Now we have organization. So what are the goals we're trying to achieve this year? The primary objectives that we're going for are app staking, the portal revamp, onboarding 100 chains, and the conversion of the portal API and SDK to Golang from Node.js. So we're going to go through all these in details in the next few slides. So here's a roadmap. This is where everybody squints and looks and tries to read what's on it. It's obviously not very readable here. We can make this publicly available. This is our Miro board that our product managers and our delivery manager now maintain. So let's first talk about the user-facing products. We have, of course, the web wallet that we've supported as our only wallet for a very long time, though I'm sure some people who are here like me also use the CLI. That's really the most convenient and fastest wallet. But for those that do use the web wallet, we have a full UI refresh coming, though we have also are making in progress and constant updates to the UI to improve things as we see them. More features coming. Let us know what you'd like to see. And what everybody's really excited about as an end user, of course, is our downloadable wallet. This is being developed by the same developer that produces NodePilot. He's done other downloadable wallets for projects before. Is Ryan here? Can you raise your hand, Ryan? I've never even met Ryan. Ryan's not here. Ah, boo. Hi, Shane. So we're really excited. This brings a actual full-featured downloadable wallet to Pocket, which we've lacked for a long time, giving you multiple account access, activations, saved addresses, monitoring, all the things that you'd expect from a full-featured full-featured downloadable wallet. Done in an Electron, so it's going to be movable to any platform, and also done in React, so supportable, and it's going to be able to exchange code between our wallets. Ledger integration, we've had some delays. Not going to be, very happy with the explanation that's coming out of this. Basically, Ledger offers 3 contractors. So when you go and say, hey, Ledger, we'd like to be supported by Ledger, they say, here are 3 of our suggested contractors. These are the people that have done dozens of integrations in the past. We reached out to all 3. They were all 3 extremely busy. Only 2 actually took the opportunity to talk to us. We chose what we thought was the best one of the 2. Turned out to be quite a few delays. They've had some issues getting our thing launched. Yada, 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 contractors. We are getting there. It is coming soon. Now, these are 2 things that I'm actually extremely excited about. That left side is a new thing that we just started 1 or 2 weeks ago that I think is going to make for a lot of really exciting tools to come out of the people that are tool builders here. This is a database indexer that contains all the transactions, all of the relevant metadata from the Pocket blockchain, built using Go, outputting to Postgres. It's going to be open sourced. Everybody will be able to build their own indexer, much like what something like Pocket Scan runs in the background. You'll be able to have your own version of that to be able to query on-chain data, build indexes, build a GraphQL library off of it if you want to. All those things that can make the blockchain actually accessible to use and easily readable without having to read the blockchain itself. So what is this going to enable? This is going to enable us to build our own Explorer much more easily. So we have a very mediocre Explorer project right now. I think Luis wrote that. Yeah, very mediocre. To be fair, he forked it. He forked it. He probably spent the weekend forking it and making it work. So we're thankful that we've had something that's been working for all this time. But we're building a much better one in the background now. We want multiple Explorers to be out there. We want Pocket Watch to continue. We want Pocket Scan to continue, though it's so much more than an Explorer. And we need to have our own default one that lives on our Pocket Network domain. So we're working on that now. Wrapped Pocket, I know a controversial topic. I'm not going to talk too much about it. That is not my project. But it is an ERC20 token that's pegged to Pocket, opening up the wealth of DeFi opportunities you can do with an ERC20 token. The decision has been made to bring it to 3 EVM chains, so there won't be any complaint if you don't like BSC. You can go to Poly. Bridge testing, this is an actual announcement, starts at the end of June, and we need 150 testers. So let Gabby, who you can find on the main Pocket Discord, and right there, let Gabby know, raising her hand, if you'd like to be one of the testers for our Ferrum bridge. So this is a bridge that's proven technology from Ferrum. We have a lot less concern of it over any sort of hacks or, that was a huge concern of ours. Dealing with all of this money that can be held in a locked bridge, we just didn't want that responsibility. All the hacks that have gone on with the bridges for projects so much bigger than ours that have gone on recently really scared us into going with some sort of known technology that is not a locked value sort of bridge. So let's move on to new chains and who we're onboarding. So our infra team is primarily tasked with onboarding new chains on the Pocket Network. We have 2 different types now. We have expedited chains and we have our normal onboarding chains. Now the expedited chains is a business opportunity that sort of fell into our lap as we sort of discovered that when you're a new chain, say you're a new L1 or even a new L2, how do you get people to use your chain? Well, a lot of these places have come up with these foundation grants that they give to developers and say, hey, move your app or your project over to our chain and we're going to pay you. That's really appealing. But for that to be able to work, they have to have solid RPC service. So we've seen this happen multiple times. It's playing out a couple times now. Harmony was our first one, the big obvious one that all the node runners here. They had a big foundation grant. They were moving over a ton of applications, but their RPC service couldn't handle it. The blockchain teams are not infrastructure teams. They're not meant to scale these sort of infrastructures to the global scale that these Harmony apps needed to handle. So they came to us, and we were glad to help them. We were so thankful to have Harmony as one of our first partners. That led us to this business model of expediting chains. So there's chains out there that raise a ton of money, but they need this RPC service, so they're now actually paying RPC providers like us to onboard them. So the first 2 that we've done are Boba Network and now Krabata, which is an AVAX subnet. And then we have 2 other chains that we've integrated in 2022 already, OKX, OKChain, and Evmos. So new chains, this is the next way that new chains can launch. And this is already in progress and already happening. Addison and Thunderhead have already launched Near using this process. So what is Triforce? There's going to be another talk about this that'll go into much more detail about Triforce. But it's a DAO initiative to enable decentralized and permissionless blockchain deployment via shards. Now, this was an original idea that Michael talked to me about way back when, saying, we want to let people launch their own chains on Pocket. And I'm like, how the heck can that happen? We have to do so many things to get a new chain launched. Backup infrastructure, adding things to our load balancers, adding things to the new chains, making sure everybody's coordinated. Node coordination is a huge thing that has to happen to have a new chain launch. We can't put out a new chain there unless we have thousands of nodes run by you guys out there also supporting us. So this Triforce initiative is a way to get that permissionless way to activate a new blockchain. Now, that's super advantaged to a node provider as you're the first one staking that new ground in the new country. So when a new chain comes on and you're the first supporter, like Addison and Near, they're going to be rolling in the profits until everybody catches up. Now, that's, of course, up to Rich and his team to make sure that those profits are rolling in quickly. But you now have the opportunity to launch your own shard and choose what chain you want to support on the Pocket network, which is pretty cool. And I'm really excited, actually, about bringing on new shards from teams that already support the blockchains. So we all know there's difficult blockchains out there to support, blockchains that fall over at the slightest whiff of RPC traffic, things like Cosmos Tendermint. So we're bringing in people that already run these Cosmos Tendermint chains, Polkadot, already run these infrastructures at scale and bringing them on to be Pocket node providers. And we've actually had the advantage that some of these people that we're talking to support Polkadot and Cosmos are already running Pocket nodes. So I got on these calls with them and I thought I was going to explain what Pocket is, how to run a Pocket node. No, they already know. They already were running 100 Pocket nodes. I'm like, great, I don't have to explain anything to you. We just need you to come be a shard, come bring us these chains, and we're going to get to our goal of 100. So new chains Triforce Part 2. What chains have been deployed? DeFi Kingdoms, Avalanche Subnet, Phantom, Near, Moonbeam, and Moonriver. Now, those first 2 were internal. That means our team worked as the Triforce shard to bring those chains up and integrate them. Third one, Thunderhead with Near. And 2 more, those are the external parties I was just talking about. So what chains are next? I don't know. You're going to have to attend Rich's and Jessica's talk to find out. It's permissionless. That's a great thing. I don't have to know. Automation and tooling. So if you remember back to our first slide, the biggest team that has grown the most quickly under our new agenda here is our DevOps team. That DevOps team not only runs the portal API and all of the products that we have to deploy, but also our backup infrastructure for when we have chain issues or just taking over during node failures and when they have to take over relays. So this DevOps team has been working on multiple projects, not just bringing up new infrastructure, but also producing new tooling to help our node runners run their nodes better. And the one we're really excited about and really proud of, it's out now, it's released, it's usable, is Node Nanny. Now, I'm sure a lot of the node runners have already seen this, they've already been hearing about it, but really, start using it. If you're running HA proxy, you can be using Node Nanny now. So the typical structure for a large node provider, or even someone that runs 20 or 40 nodes, is that you would have multiple blockchains behind a load balancer. The blockchains can, like I said, fall over easy. You want to make sure that you're redundant and reliable, so you run, say, 2 Ethereum nodes behind an HA proxy load balancer. Now, the problem with HA proxy is or any load balancer, they'll know if your Ethereum node is up, but they won't know that it's in sync, and they won't know that it's actually responding to RPC requests. There are certain blockchains, like Fuse, particularly, that will stay up and stay online and keep responding to RPC requests, but it has stopped syncing. So in a normal situation, any sort of health check that you send at it is going to go, yeah, you're up and healthy, you're fine, but it's not actually running. And the simple solution to it is you send it a restart command, and it comes back up and starts syncing and catches up. But that's a sort of invisible problem that you're often firefighting and just depending on monitoring to handle. So what we came up with, and this is John Fritz's first task when he first came on, he worked on it for 3 months. Now it's been taken over by more of the team. We've got a great UI on it. We called it Node Nanny. So it monitors your Pocket, can do Pocket nodes as well, monitors any blockchain node and uses an oracle system to determine consensus. Determines consensus of the actual block height, the actual tip of the blockchain, and if your nodes aren't in sync within an adjustable allowance, it takes them out of your HA proxy rotation. Now, it's smart enough. It's not going to take all of your nodes out of rotation. It's going to leave the best one in. It's going to, it also has a feature to restart the node. So like Fuse, for example, if it's stuck, it has an option to say, oh, if this one's stuck, restart it. But don't do that to all of them, because restarting some of them can screw them up. So it's a really smart little system. It's made our job so much easier. I've been beta testing it as Nacho nodes for a while. It's now released to the general public, so everybody should jump on this. If you have any questions, please hit us up in the Node Runners channel. Talk to John Fritz or Pascal, who's also very knowledgeable about it, and we'll help you get set up and running. It's got a great UI on it, put on by Kevin. So now it actually looks like a real product. Like originally it was just a CLI type of thing, like we're Node Runners, we deal in the CLI. Design said, no, we can't put it out like that. It has to have a face on it, so we put a GUI on it. Very nice, easy to use GUI, easy to manage from anywhere. You could be monitoring your nodes from your laptop right now and checking to make sure that everything is up and in sync. Node automation platform. So this is really cool. Also, of course, going to be, like everything we do, open sourced. This is going to enable any node runners to bring up nodes instantly with just a few clicks. So I'm not going to go in too much into the deep tech of this because it's actually not my doing. I raise my nodes in a much more simple way than this. This is using Terraform, Helm, Argo, and Kubernetes to bring up things with one click. So we have a few different ways to do this, either dealing from the nodes snapshot, the one that the blockchain provides themselves, or dealing from our own internal snapshots. And what we release will be able to be used in that same way. Basically, one-click spin-ups. So you want a new Harmony node, you tell it where to go, you tell Terraform and Helm where to put it, and it brings it up for you. Really, really hands-off. We are raising our nodes in this style now, so it's only a matter of time before we start releasing these to the public, and our intent is, of course, to release them before the new chains go live, so that everybody can be ready and up and going. Because, as you know, like there's no easy way to get some of these nodes going at scale sometimes. The blockchain teams are too small, they don't provide Docker Compose, they don't provide these sort of recipes to get them up and going. They expect you that you're going to be running one node in one region, not like 20 nodes in 5 regions like the node providers have to do. So we're really excited this is going to help everyone scale more quickly and be more reliable in their service. Infrastructure as code. Let's skim over this a little bit because it's just basically we are now practicing best practices of infrastructure as code for everything. I used to raise API regions manually. It didn't take long, 20, 30 minutes, but there was nothing normalized. There was nothing consistent about that. Takwa came on, and as her first project brought the Portal API into the modern era, we can now raise regions with one click. We can tear them down, raise them instantly. It's fantastic. So no matter where the traffic is, we can bring up a region to support it really, really quickly. So multi-cloud expansion. This is a little more controversial than some of our other topics. We're not sure we're going this direction. I know there's a lot of opinions on why are we only in one cloud, why don't we go to multiple clouds. Really, that's just been a team scale thing that we haven't had the scale of the team to be able to do that yet. We do now, so we're exploring it. We're going to be researching it more. You know, we want to avoid vendor locked-in, government overreach, but it presents a lot of complexity. It presents a lot of complexity to the team, a lot of you know, engineering overhead to manage that sort of multi-cloud platform. One idea is that we also want to run on bare metal. And that's really, really hard to do when you're doing a scalable API. How do you do a scalable API on bare metal where some region may go 2x in traffic overnight and you're not there to monitor it? You certainly can't raise bare metal resources that quickly. You know, that's why everybody uses the cloud for these things. But that doesn't give us the sort of independence that we want from the cloud. So one idea that I had is that we're going to try bare metal out as the initial API. So in a region that's busy, we know never changes, like EU Central 1, we'll raise some bare metal racks there, and then the overflow will go to the cloud. So everything that we can handle mostly on bare metal will be there, and then the overflow on Frankfurt would then shift over to EU Central 1 on AWS, thereby giving us a lot of redundancy, a lot more resilience, but also to enable some scaling because we never know when the regions are going to grow. Like I'm sure a lot of people here have realized, APAC Asia has grown immensely over the past 3 weeks. If you don't have nodes in Asia, you're suffering on rewards right now. So the cloud really makes it easy to bring up hardware there, but you need to be there. Like, so raising your nodes in multiple regions is really, really quite essential. So let's talk a quick bit about the Portal UI and APIs and SDKs powering it. The Portal UI, of course, is the product that everybody uses that isn't in this room. I doubt many people in this room use the Portal UI. It's for app developers. It's for people that want to access Pocket using our relays. It's been a project that was not given a ton of engineering resources in the past. We didn't have a lot of hands that were available to work on it. Now we do. We have a great dedicated team lead for the front end who came over from an enterprise type background that has given us some good process. And we're now finally getting our code base in the shape where it needs to be so that we can have multiple team members working on it, moving more quickly, generating more features. We're about to put our first major feature, which is an auth integration, so that we're not stuck in the 1990s of enter your email address. Just like every other modern platform, you'll be able to go in, click login with Google, and in 2 seconds, you're inside getting your endpoints. Pocket SDKs, super exciting. We've got not just 2 in-house ones, we've got 3 now, thanks to Block Joe. Did Joe make it? Is Joe here? No Joe. Joe is our DevRel engineer that is so much more. If we could have 5 Joes, we would. He wrote Pocket Pie over a weekend, I think, because he wanted to write his own Python indexer. So he started his own SDK. He started his own Python indexer, which is now public domain. If you want to run his Python indexer, you can. And we also have Pocket Rust. How did Rust not make it up here? Another side project by one of our developers who just wants to see what he can do with it. We've got Pocket Rust. So Pocket.js has been completely upgraded, completely overhauled, all from scratch. There is no legacy code in there. Smaller bundle, modular and composable, super cool. Just have to initiate the part that you want. We ran into so many questions with our integrations where we asked these outside teams to use Pocket.js to integrate, and it asks you for so many things you don't need. Like, who's your dispatcher? Well, I don't need a dispatcher. I'm not doing relays. I just want to talk to the chain. So this is fantastic that we can now have abbreviated instructions of how you just want to talk to the chain. Do you want to dispatch? You want all these things with a modular, composable Pocket.js. Pocket Go has been a project of Pablo since he got here. And that's been going fantastically. We're really excited. That's going to be the underpinning of everything that we do in the future. It's already in production. We're already using Pocket Go in a couple places in the Portal UI. So the Portal UI now in Node.js is going to Pocket Go, but we've extricated some parts of it already that are in Golang. So app self-staking. This is, again, another topic that I'm not going to go too deeply into because it is more a tokenomics topic than an engineering topic. But we do plan on resolving this using one or more of the following options. Now, these are in research. This is not a set-in-stone thing. One or more of these things may happen. But obviously, these are the ways that we want to enable self-staking in the application because that's really how you're supposed to use Pocket. We're not supposed to be giving it away indefinitely. We need people to come in and use their coins on the portal. So bring your own Pocket, direct on-ramping, monthly subscriptions, interesting, and of course the wrapped Pocket. This is all the things we're building in 2022 with our team of nearly 30, which is really, really amazing to say how fast we've grown. If feedback form, like the talk, love the talk, leave some feedback. If you didn't like it, talk to Art. It's not on me. Thank you very much.